We're holding in 42 days to the Yom. A week left to the big day. Today is malchus shebeyesod. What is malchus shebeyesod? Kingship. Accepting the Rabbi Daniel's kingship. When you say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, you're accepting all malchus shamayim. You're accepting the king, the Rabbi Daniel, as our king. And that means that we do what he wants. And we understand that as a servant, the more we ignore what everyone else thinks, the more we focus on what the king wants to do, the more we're a true servant. Eved Ne'eman Korosai. Moshe Rabbeinu was called an Eved Ne'eman, a faithful Eved. This is something that is so true today. Shlomo HaMelech, David HaMelech told Shlomo HaMelech the following words: V'chazakta v'yisa le'ish. Be strong, be a man. Unbelievable. That expression, be a man, you know what that means? I always heard from my Rebbe, go against the zerem, go against the flow. Successful people are the ones that when there is trials and tribulations, when there's a storm that's coming against them, they don't become the victims. They say, when the struggle, as the expression goes, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. The fum tzara aga, there's more pain. That means I could grow greater. V'sa nes lekabetz galuyosenu, nes, a nisayon, according to many mefarshim, I think of Dessler writes this, is to raise you. Every nisayon is an opportunity to grow. This is something that I see all the time, whether it's a marriage, whether it's any position in life. I'll give you one example. A young boy came to me and told me that he's very upset. Why is he very upset? Because the whole year they had a bad teacher. You ever hear that from a child? I had a bad teacher, and it's all the bad teacher's fault, and that's the reason why I'm going to fail the finals. And I told this young boy, I said, listen, I want to tell you, this is not the only time in life that you're going to have a struggle, and you're going to be able to blame. And you're going to have a good reason to blame and say that this was unfair. It looks unfair. If I had a good teacher, it would have been so much better. However, you could have two choices. You could say, that's it. It's all the teacher's fault. And that really means is that God gave you bad cards, and therefore there's nothing you can do. Or you could say, wait a minute. If I had a bad teacher, that means that the creator of the universe, the Father in heaven, the one that cares about me and wants me to grow, he orchestrated that I'm going to have a bad teacher. And now it's a question, what am I going to do? How much am I going to grow? So much more. Malchus shebeyesod, the opportunity to become to a place of tahara by accepting the kingship, by accepting the fact that God is the king, and when he makes a decree, it's an avarachman. It's coming with incredible compassion for me to grow. Someone asked me another question. He said, what about someone that has tendencies for the same gender? Today it's becoming a tremendous phenomenon and a tremendous challenge. Shayla, someone asked me if a person has such a problem, which side of the mechitza should he wear? Should he be on? I told the person, I said the following. I said, someone that struggles with, for example, tendencies to be with another man, and he's a man, that person, not only should he be in the minyan, he should be in the front of the minyan, because he's the tzaddik. If a person has a struggle and he doesn't act based on it, he says, this is my struggle. It's something that no one else in that entire congregation has. That means that he's a tzaddik in that regard. And no one else is experiencing that. No one else has that challenge. People so easily say, oh my gosh, that person, I don't know, should be part of Klal Yisrael. What do you mean by part of Klal Yisrael? If he's not doing the Avera, then he's unbelievable. To struggle with a mitzvah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's when a person chas v'shalom dismisses the Torah and dismisses malchus shamayim and says, oh, well, that must be that there's no king because it's so difficult. This is so important. Today's world is filled with struggles. Someone came to me, a lady, and told me all the different challenges that she has in her life. And I told her the same yesod. I said, if there's a challenge in your life, number one, pull out shara bitachon. Someone told me that a Rav wrote this, and I think it's so true. I don't understand how it's really shaykh to go through a day and not to learn at least 5 minutes and make a ave chavrusa with my daughter, and to make a chavrusa in shara bitachon. You could use other svarim. There's other beautiful svarim about Emunah, the Garden of Emunah, and the Shalmun, and the Yuchad, every type of shir. But the basics goes back to shara bitachon and chovas halavavos, duties of the hearts. And it means that when you read a few lines, it starts to seep in, and eventually it becomes internalized. This is how we grow. Opportunities come, struggles come. If you don't have a struggle, there's no opportunity to grow. Everyone knows if you could start using weights and there's no struggle, you're not going to develop any muscles. These are called spiritual muscles. Malchus shebeyesod. Grab the opportunity and become a real king, and get ready to be makabel ol malchut shamayim in Har Sinai when the Rabbi Daniel, King of Kings, shows up. Hatzlacha.